following month will have 31 days. So alternatively, they had 31 and 29 days for all these 10 months. So in total, it comes around 300 days. Okay. So obviously with this calculation, they were wrong because it is not just 300 days that is taking for the Earth to revolve around the sun. So resulted in a gradual misalignment of the calendar with some seasons. For example, the Easter days was not falling on the expected day. So again, analysis. So before the analysis started, their calendar looked like this in a Latin language. So the first month of the calendar was Martius. Okay, it had 31 days. And next comes Aprilis. And next it is Maius. And then comes Junius. Though it starts with I, they pronounce it as Junius. Okay. So then Quintilis, then Sextilis, September, October, November, December. So here I would like to add few points to convince you that this would have been the first month and this would have been the fifth month, sixth month, and so on. Okay, so before I start with that, I just wanted to tell you that all these languages are made up of sounds. I hope everyone will agree with that. But all these languages, even though they are made up of sounds, they are called, we call it in a different name. They had some similarities. For example, I would quote this Volkswagen. We call it Volkswagen, but still it is spelled as VOLKS and WAGEN, Volkswagen. Okay, so it is German actually, Volks. It is German. I could show you some proofs also. So folks, it is people. So we in English we call it folks, 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 but in German it is VOLKS. So still it is mean people. Okay, so wagon. So even in Hindi, we have this Vahan, means sorry, in Hindi, yeah. Let me come here. Maybe the pronunciation, spelling is wrong. Yeah, here it comes. So Vahan. Okay, so again wagon. So it means vehicle. So all the languages share some similar sounds, and but we start speaking, name it in different places differently and start following it. Okay, so all these languages have similarities. So same way, I could use this to convince you that this was the first month, second month, third month, fourth month, and fifth month, and so on. So here, if you take this month, I actually, honestly, I don't have any explanations for what is March, why they named it Martius, Aprilis, Maius, Junius. But I could start from here. It is Quintilis. Okay, so let me start here. It's Latin. So it's quinti means fifth. So the fifth month is called as quintilis. Okay, next comes 60. Okay, so it is called as sixth. So sextilis is sixth month.
Radha, I think the wrong screen is being shared.
Oh, all right. Is this visible now? I'm typing Google.
Yes.
Okay. So here, quinti. So quinti means fifth. So quintilis, that is fifth month. So it is 60. So sixth month. Okay, so six, it actually sounds six, but quinti is not sounding like five or something, but actually it is fifth month. Coming over here to the slide, I could give some beautiful explanation for all the other months. You know, September, you'd have heard Sabdaswaram. So Sabda means seven. Okay, so September, so seventh month. Okay, Octo, you know, octagon, which has 8 sides. So October, that is the 8th month. Okay, so then comes November. So Navagraha, so 9 planets. Then Navami, which is called as the ninth day from no moon or full moon day. Then Hindi we call Now. So it's November, so ninth. Okay, then comes Deka. So Deka means 10. So decade, 10 years. So December. Okay, so that's the 10th month here. I hope this would be convincing for you to means understand that actually the first month is March, April, second month is April, then it comes May, and then June, then it is quintilis actually earlier, then sextilis, September, October, November, and December. Okay, so we here they are considered as 300 days to complete an orbit around the sun. Okay, but actually that had some misalignment with the seasons on the passing. Again, they started their analysis and they found it is not 300. They again came to an assumption that it could be 360. Okay, so before that, I could give an explanation for why, when, and why this quintilis and sextilis changed to July and August. Okay, here March, April, May, June. So obviously now we follow July and then August, then September, October, November, and December. Okay, so I want to give an explanation on this July and August. So during the time of Julius Caesar, this calendar was little arranged in such a way that everyone can utilize globally. So, with as an honor to Julius Caesar, first they changed the fifth month, again the odd month. They doesn't consider the even month in the mid layers. Like fifth month, they chose to honor Julius Caesar, so they just changed quintilis to July. Okay, in the name of Julius Caesar. Then his successor is okay, sorry. So his successor is Augustus Caesar. Okay, so after Julius Caesar, the next month that comes after July is July would have been sextiles. Okay, so this was changed to August. So in the as an honor to Augustus Caesar, they just named it as August. Okay, that's the history behind March, April, May, June, and then July, August. Okay, so obviously here you see 31 days, 29 days, 39 days, 29 days, 31, 29, 31, 29. So again it falls to 300 days only. Okay, but we are missing 2 months, that is January and February. So I could come to the next slide. So here, when they found it was not 300, it should have been 60. With those assumption, again they added 2 months, that is January and February. So what would be the last month? The last month here, it is February. Okay, the first month was March, and the last month was February. Okay, so then after a few years, there comes the King Gregorian. During his period, one of the person found that it is not exactly the time that we are following. So we are miscalculating the calendar. So then the dates. So we need to work on that. And then he brought the logic behind that. He changed it to 3130. He removed all those superstitious beliefs like odd numbers only the lucky numbers for us, and even numbers weren't the lucky number. So all those he removed it and he started building up the calendar. Okay. When he built up, see here, before he built up, it was 31, 29, 31, 29, 31. It wasn't 29. Okay. Then we have July 31 days, and August also we have 31 days. So what is the reason behind that? So Julius Caesar is also a king. Okay, it would have been funny, but this was the real reason behind that. Okay, Julius Caesar is a king. So he had 31 days on the month which was named after him. Okay, if Augustus Caesar having 29 days, it may reflect like we are not giving importance to Augustus Caesar. Okay, so due to that, they just changed it to 39, 31. Okay, after that, it was 29, 31. November would have been 29, and December would have been 31. So 29, 31, 29, 31. This was the one when Gregorian took up and started working on it. Okay, so here 31, 29, 31, 29, 31, 31, 29, 31, 29, 31, 31, 29. Still the count has not changed. It is still 360. Okay, so obviously it is not exactly 360 days that the Earth is taking to revolve around the sun. Okay, we found that it is 365 and quarter days. Okay, so there comes the separation, like ordinary year. What is an ordinary year and what is a leap year? So I want one of the volunteer to answer what is leap year to him. So how will you calculate a leap year? Can anyone answer, please? Come on, it's a simple question, so I'd appreciate so whoever is answering.
A year which is divisible by 4.
Yeah, thanks Karthik. So yeah, it is the year which is divisible by 4 is always a leap year. Okay, so if you see, so every year which is exactly divisible by 4 is a leap year. So can anyone guess whether this 2100 is a leap year or not? You can very well open your calendar and just confirm whether this 2100 is a leap year or not. How would you confirm? We just confirm by seeing the February month, whether it has 28 days or 29 days. So go up, just have a look at 2100's calendar and find whether it has 28 days or 29 days, and just tell me whether it's a leap year or not. I could also show it to people who were connected via mobile or who will not be able to see. So just see here. So I'm just navigating to 2100 calendar. And I'm going back to February. And if you see, it has only 28 days, which clearly says that it's an ordinary year. But this 2100 is exactly divisible by 4.
Raja, you're not showing the calendar. It is still, we are seeing PPT.
Oh, okay. Hope this works now. Okay, so see this calendar, 2100th calendar, February has only 28 days. Okay, so this proves that this is not a leap year, so this is an ordinary year. But this calculator is visible for you? No? I'll try to share the full screen. Can anyone help me on sharing this full screen? There is no option says that. Still, I'll continue. No problem. I'll open a calculator here. So 2100 is exactly divisible by 4. So 525, it should have been a leap year, but it is not. So what is the reason behind it? Okay, let's jump into the. So actually centuries are not leap years. Okay, so 2100, 2200, 2300. So they are not leap years. But we would have just passed the year 2000. Okay, so 2000 is a century or not? Yes, it's a century. Obviously, it is a century. But so this says centuries are not leap year. So let's now check whether 2000 is a leap year or not. So I'm taking directly February 2000's calendar. It has 29 days in February. So it is obviously a leap year. It's not an ordinary year. So what about my point? It says the centuries are not. So this is also not true. But still this 2000 is divisible by 4. Okay, so it should be a leap year. So it's a leap year or not a leap year? So how would you find this? Okay, so all the centuries are not leap year except the centuries that are multiples of 400. Okay, so this 2000 is a multiple of 400. So obviously, this 2000 is a leap year, but all the other centuries like 2100, 2200, 2300 is not a leap year. So 2400 is divisible by 400. It's the multiples of 400th century. So again, 2400 would be a leap year. Okay, so again, if you say thousands, if you go back 1600, okay, so again, that would be a leap year. I can show that. If you see this, February has 29 days. I could go to 1700. It shouldn't be the leap year because it is not a multiple of 400, but still it is divisible by 4. So it's not considered. It's a century, should be divisible by 400. Then it's a leap year. Otherwise, it's an ordinary year. See this? It has only 28 days. Okay, so 1700. It's not a leap year. So all the centuries are not leap year. Only the centuries which are multiples of 400 is a leap year. Okay. So what did I miss here? Okay. Why the centuries are not leap year? Before going into it, I would keep this aside and go to the next concept, which is little mathematical oriented. So I want to keep the stories aside. I'll start with the stories again. Okay. So why this centuries are not leap years? We'll get back to it after this, finding the ways of odd days. Okay. Before you are finding the, there is a concept like you give a date, you can tell the day. Okay. So today is 16th 2020. So this, if you give the date, we have to say this is Wednesday with calendar. So there are some very easy steps that we could follow. Even you can use your mind calculation to do that. That falls on this date. Okay. So before that, we have to understand the law, understand the details behind it. So why ordinary year? What is a leap year? How many days the ordinary year has? How many days? And so on. Okay, so it's already written. So an ordinary year has 365 days. So what is an odd day? An odd day is a day that is after a complete week, the remaining days are considered as odd days. Okay, so 365 when it is divisible by 7. 365 when it's divisible by 7, it shows 52. So 52 weeks. 52 complete week. It comes up to 360. How many days in extra? We have only 1 day in extra. That extra 1 day is considered as an odd day. Okay. So an ordinary year has 365 days. So there is only one extra day, that is only one odd day. But a leap year has 366 days. So obviously there would be 2 odd days. Okay, 364 is complete 52 weeks. So remaining 2 days are considered as odd day. So leap year has 2 odd days, but an ordinary year has only 1 odd day. We have to keep this in mind. Okay. Now, how much odd days does a century has? So in 100 years, how many odd days would be there? So before finding that, we have to find how many ordinary years are there, how many leap years are there. As I told you, centuries are not leap years. Okay. Now we are considering the years from 1 to 100. So 100 is not a multiple of 400, right? So we are not considering it as a leap year. So still 100th year is a ordinary year. So keeping this in mind, so how many ordinary years will be there in this 100 years and how many leap years will be there in this 100 years? We have to calculate this one. So it's the simple concept. 4, it gives actually 25. 100 divided by 4, it gives 25. But we have 100th year from the 25. So obviously there are only 24 leap years in the first 100 years. In a century, we have only 24 leap years. So remaining all would be ordinary. So 76 ordinary years and 24 leap years are there in a century. So with this, an ordinary year has and a leap year has 2 odd days. So for the 76 years, we would be having 1 odd day. So 76 odd days will be present inside this 76 ordinary years. Okay. People can stop when you feel I'm going very fast. So can I proceed? Okay, I'll take it as yes. Okay, so now there are 24 leap years. So for each leap year, we have 2 odd days. That is, after a complete weeks, 52 complete weeks, remaining 2 days is considered as odd day. So for every leap year, we have 2 odd days. We have 24 leap years in 100 years, in 1 century. Okay, so with that with that in mind, we have 24 into 2 odd days, so totally 48 odd days. Okay, so 76 odd days from the ordinary years has been taken and added with 48 odd days from the leap year. So with this calculation, we come up to 124 odd days in this 100 centuries. So what we call as odd day when it is not a complete week. Still 124 is, we have so many complete weeks inside this 124 odd days, right? So divide it by 4. Sorry, 7. Sorry. Again divided by 7. So we get 17 weeks, 17 complete weeks, and remaining 5 days. This out of this 17 complete weeks. Okay, so we have only 5 odd days in 1 century. This is the first thing that we have to register in our mind before we are getting deep into this, finding the day when the date is given. Okay, so for every century we have 5 odd day. So for the first century, not for every century, sorry, for the first 100 century we have 5 odd days. Okay, I'm writing it over here. So we have 5 odd days for the first 100 century. So for the first 200 centuries, okay, for 200 century, it's nothing but 5 into 2. For 100 centuries, we have 5 odd days. For 200 century, we should have multiple of, it's multiple, so into 2. So it is actually 10 odd days. So again, odd days means after removing the complete week, remaining extra days are considered as odd days. So 10 also has 1 complete week. So after removing 7, we have 3 in it. So 200 centuries have 3 odd days. So again, we have to find it for 300th century. Okay, now for 300th century, 5 into 3, that is 15. Okay, again, complete week is 2 complete weeks are there. So extra 1 day will be considered as odd day. So for 300th century, we have only 1 odd day.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I did not understand how does first 200 centuries have 3 odd days.
Okay, so 5 into 2. So 200 is 100 into 2, right? So again, the multiple of 5 into 2 is 10. Okay, so 10 has 1 complete week, that is divisible when you divide it by 7, when you group by 7, there is only one group is there. So there is only 1 week.
Okay, sir. Okay, so the 3 left days will be odd days.
The remaining days will be considered as odd days.
Okay, sir.
We have 3 odd days. Same way, 100 into 3 is 15. So 15 has 2 complete week. So remaining 1 day will be considered as odd day. Okay, let me zoom it a little. Now, coming to 400th century. Obviously, 5 into 4, it is 20. Okay, but 400th century is a leap year. Okay, these 100th century, 100, 200, 300s are not leap years. So 400th century, so we are not considering 100 when we are calculating how many leap years are inside first 100 centuries. That's why we got 24 leap years. It is not 25. But actually 400th century is a leap year. Okay, so we can directly calculate it like just 5 into 4, it is 20. So 400th century is also having it's a leap year. So 1 extra days is added. So 21, right? So 21 is exactly divisible by 7. So we get 3 complete weeks. So there is no odd day for 400 centuries. Okay, so this is the first thing that we have to register in mind. Okay, so I'll come back to the calculation again. So I'll go to the concept why this centuries are not leap year. So I have told you here, this was found that the earth takes 365.25, that is quarter days, to complete an orbit around the sun. Okay, the quarter days, we are not calculating this quarter day, that is 1/4 of the day in an ordinary year. We are just considering only 365 days. Okay, so for every 4 years, this quarter days will become a day. So that day makes the leap year. Means that day is the extra day that is added to the leap year, 366. Okay. So as I told you earlier, it was last month was February. Okay, just think from your side. If you are adding something extra, will you add it in the second month or in the last month? Obviously, you're going to add it in the last month as a Q. Okay, so that's why the extra day was added to February. Okay, that's why the ordinary year has February 28, but leap year has February 29. The extra day after this 4 quarters, we get one extra day. That extra day should be added in the last day. Obviously, last day. Okay, so obviously last day was February, so that's why they added to the February, and still they are following the same. Okay, so this is the reason behind why February has 29 days when it is leap year. Why not the other month got a chance to get an extra day? Okay, so this is the reason behind that. So now we'll come back to centuries. Why centuries are not leap years again after another calculation. Sorry, I missed that one. Now the next thing is the first step that you should consider before calculating the day for the given days is finding the number of odd days in the past century. Okay, so give me a date, like any. Okay, I'll take 15 8 1947. Okay, so we'll take our Independence Day. So first step is consider finding the number of odd days in the past century. Okay, so here the past century is 1900. Okay, so I would say just consider the first. You can directly find the number of odd days to the past years. Your past year is 1946. Okay, 1946. Now consider for the past century, that is 1900. Okay, now this 1900 can be ways. One is multiples of 400, because obviously this 400 has only 0 odd days. The logic behind this, now we are going to find the number of odd days for this 1946 years. Okay, now before that I am just taking for finding the odd days for this centuries past this 1946. Okay, so centuries before 1946, sorry. So now I'm taking this 400th multiple. So the least 400th multiple before 1900 should be 1600. Okay, 400, 800, 1200 and 1600. Okay, now the least multiple below this least 400th multiple below this 1900 should be 1600. Okay, now in this 1946, for 1600 we should be having only 0 odd days, obviously, because it is a 400th multiple. Every 400 years has only 0 odd days, so 400 will have 0 odd day, 800 will have 0 odd day, again 1600 also will have 0 odd day. Remaining is 300 centuries. Okay, for 300, how many odd? As per our calculation, we have only 1 odd day here. Okay, so for 300, just add 1 odd day into our calculation. So what is the remaining years? Out of 1946, we just calculated the odd days for 1900. Remaining is 46 years only. Okay, for this 46 years, we would be applying the same logic how we applied for finding the odd days for 100 years. So what is the logic behind it? Find number of leap years inside this given year and find the number of ordinary years. Multiply the number of odd day, that is 1 for ordinary year and 2 for leap year. Okay, so here 46. In this 46 years, how many leap year would have been there? So divided by 4. So it is 11 leap years. And remaining is 35 ordinary years. Okay, so 11 plus 35, 46. So 11 leap years. 46 divided by 4 is 11. So remaining is 46 divided by 4. So 11. So remaining is 35, which is considered as ordinary year. Okay, so for every leap year, we have to multiply it with 2. Okay, so 11 into 2 plus 35 into 1. Okay, so 11 into 2 is 22. I'm just going it mathematically, then I will give some shortcut to resolve all these mathematical things. Okay, so 35 into 1, so 35, so it is 57. Okay, now 22, yeah, 57. So we have 57 odd days. Again, we want to recall what is an odd day. Odd day is an extra day after removing the complete weeks. So complete week is 7 days. So divide this 57 by 7. So obviously 56 is the multiple of 7. So we'll get extra 1 as odd day. Okay, for 1600 years, we got 0 odd days. For 300 years, we had 1 odd day. And for this 46 years, we got 1 odd day. So in total, we have 2 odd days. 0 plus 1 plus 1. We have 2 odd days. So this is the first step of finding the odd days for until the previous year. Okay, this is the first step. Now, going back to the logic, why centuries are not leap year? Okay, now we actually think that Earth takes like 365.25, 365 and quarter days to revolve around an orbit. So if we take it as quarter days, so 24 divided by 4. So it is 6 hours in a day. Okay, so this 6 hours, we are not calculating for the ordinary year, and we are keeping it until 4 years is completed. And in the 4th year, we are considering it as 1 day, and we are adding it to the February month. So that 4th year is considered as leap year. That's why all the multiples of 4 is a leap year. Now, but actually it is not 365 and 6 hours. Okay, when this was developed, it was found that it is 365 days, 5 hours, 49 minutes, and 12 seconds. Okay, so it wasn't 6 hours exactly. It was 5 hours, 49 minutes, 12 seconds. You could Google and see this time is not exactly now the same now. NASA would have been updated, but when it was developed, this was the time they have calculated: 5 hours, 49 minutes, and 12 seconds. Okay, so actually we were considering it as 6 hours. We were calculating it as 6 hours just for the mathematical flexibility. Okay, so how would you resolve this problem? You are actually adding an extra time, like something around 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes and 48 seconds. You are adding 10 minutes, 48 seconds extra in each year. So how will you resolve this? So I'm just converting this 10 minutes into seconds. So 1 minute is 60 seconds. So 10 minutes is 600 seconds. So here 600 seconds plus remaining 48 seconds. Okay. So after when you add the 648, it will be 648 seconds to 5 hours, 49 minutes and 12 seconds. It would become 6 hours. Okay. So I just reduced this. I just found the difference from 6 hours to 5 hours, 49 minutes and 12 seconds. Obviously, it is 10 minutes and 48 seconds. That is 648 seconds. Okay. I hope till now it is clear now. Now moving to the next step. So for every 400 year, they decided to resolve this problem. So multiply this with 400. So for every 400 years, we are actually missing to calculate 2,59,200 seconds in the calendar. Okay, so this is nothing but when I'm going to convert the seconds into days. Before that, I'm going to convert the seconds into hours. Okay, so I will divide this seconds by 3,600 so that I get 72 hours. Okay, so I get 72 hours. Now each day has 24 hours. Now I'm going to convert the 72 hours into day. So just divide by 24. We get 3 days. So what does it mean? So for every 400 year, we are actually missing. So we are actually adding. So we are not missing. So we are actually adding extra this 2,59,200 seconds. for every 400 years, which is nothing but 72 hours we are adding for every 400 years, which is nothing but we are calculating 3 days in extra for every 400 year. Okay, so 100th year, 200th year, 300th year, 400th year. According to the logic that every fourth year should be a leap year, this 100 also should be a leap year, which should have 366 days. 200 also should be a leap year, which should have 366 days. And 300 also should have 366 days. 400 also should have 366 days. But we need to remove these 3 extra days that we are adding for this, the period of 400 years. So they decided to remove 1 day from each century. So -1 is 365, again 365, again 365. So there is no need of removing any day from 400. That's why 400th year is a leap year. Still it has 366 days, but all the other centuries will not have 366 days, will have only 365 days. That is the reason centuries are not considered as leap year, but the multiples of 400th century, okay, are considered as leap year. Got it? If someone wants me to repeat, I can repeat this calculation, because this is the first time you are hearing it. So much of numbers involved. So obviously it would take some time to understand. So if someone wants me to repeat, I can do that.
Can you repeat one more time?
Yes, sure. I'll start from here. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Sure. Okay. Now the Earth takes, we thought that means we consider that Earth takes, it is 365 and quarter days. That is 365 days and 6 hours actually. But it is not actually 365 days and 6 hours. It just takes 365 days, 5 hours, 49 minutes and 12 seconds. Okay. So what we are actually doing, we considering it as 6 hours quarter day. That's why we get for every multiple of 4th year, we are adding that extra day. We get 1 extra day and we are adding it to the leap year, that is 366 days. Okay, but actually it is not 6 hours. It is less than 6 hours. So how much seconds it is less than 6 hours? It is 648 seconds less than 6 hours. So what we are actually doing, we are adding 48 seconds extra to each year. Okay, so when we sum up to 400 years, so it comes up to 2,59,200 seconds that we are adding extra for every 400 years. So which is nothing but 3 days. When this 2,59,200 seconds is converted to days, we get 3 days. So which means 3 days are added in extra when we calculate it for 400 years. For every 400 years, 3 days are added in extra. Means miscalculated means we have this 3 days in extra, which we need to remove it somewhere to match the exact date, that we are not doing any that we don't need to update again when the season gets some misalignment. Okay, so that for that thing we definitely need to remove this 3 days within this 400 years. Okay, so what they decided is, among these 400 years, they started removing 1 day per century. So actually 100th year should have 366 days because it's a multiple of 4. Okay, so they have removed that 1 extra day from this 3 extra day in the first century. So that's why 366 became 365. Again, in the second century, it should have been 366 days because again it is divisible by 4. It's a leap. It should have been a leap year, but we need to remove 1 more day from this three days. So again, we are removing this 1 day here. So again, 365. So 200th year would have only 365. Again, only 1 day left out on this 3 days. So that we are removing in this 300th century. So 366 becomes 365 again in the 300th century. This is the reason centuries are not leap years, which is considered as only ordinary years, which has only 365 days. But 400th century, obviously it's divisible by 4, and there is no extra day that has to be removed in this 400th century. So this has 366 days. So all the multiples of 400th century is a leap year, but not all the centuries. Other than that, all years which is divisible by 4 are leap years. Clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Now again, we'll move to the concepts. So for first thing, what we did is we found the odd days for the past year, okay, 1946. So our question is 1947. So past day is 1946. So how we splitted this 1946? We are split into three parts. One is the multiples of 400th century, that is before 1946. That's nothing but 1600. Then the centuries after the 1600 within this 1946, we have 300 centuries. Remaining is 46 years. So with our chart here, I'd copy here, just for your reference. So multiples of 400th century will have 0 odd days. So 1600 will have 0 odd days. 300th century has only 1 odd day. We are putting it here as 1 odd day. So 46, we have to find how many ordinary years are there in this 46 years and how many leap years are there in this 46 years. With simple logic, just divided by 5, we get 11 leap years and remaining 35 ordinary years. Okay, so 11, each leap year will have 2 odd days. I'll write it here. Leap year, 2 odd day. Ordinary year, 2 odd days. Okay, so leap year will have 2 odd days. So 11 leap years, so 22 odd days. Ordinary year, only 1 odd day. So for every 35 years, we have 35 odd days. So 22 plus 57 odd days. Okay, so 57 odd days. What do you mean by odd day? After removing the complete weeks, the remaining extra days are odd days. So 57 should have so many complete weeks. So obviously to find it, just divide it by 7. So you get 8 complete weeks, 56. So remaining is 1. Okay, the remainder should be 1. So here again, I'm rewriting 1600 as 0 odd days, 300 years as 1 odd day, and this has 46 years as only 1 odd day. Okay, in total we have 2 odd days. This is for 1946 until 1946. So what we should understand here is 31/12/1946. Till this date we had 2 odd day. This is what we need to understand. So we have calculated until 31/12, this is December 31st, 1946. We have calculated the number of odd days. So remaining it is 8 months, 15 days are remaining to find the odd day for, find the day for this day, given date. Okay, so again, we need to find how many odd days are there for 8 months and 15 days. Before that, for each month, how many odd days are there? We need to find that. Okay, so Jan. So how many days Jan was having? Jan is having 31 days. February has 28 or 29 days, considering whether it is a leap year or an ordinary year. Okay, considering the current year. So 31 in March, 13 April, again 31, 30, 31, 31, 30, 31, 30, 31. Okay, so how many complete weeks are there? Here it should be 4 complete weeks and 3 odd days. So odd days is 3. Here it is 0 or 1. So again, March would have 3 odd days. I'm just dividing it by 7 and finding the remainder. Okay, so 3 odd days. Again, April, 2 odd days. 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay, these are all the odd days. I would remove these things. Okay, now, so as I told you, just before finding the odd days for 1947, the previous year we have considered and found the odd days for 1946. Same way, now we need to find the odd days for until August 15. So what is the previous month before that comes before August? That is July. So until July, we need to find the odd days just by adding this, summing up all the odd days that we have already have it in our table. Okay, so and also before that, one more point we should consider. We should check whether this 1947 is a leap year or not. So how to find whether it is a leap year or not? 1947, check whether it is divisible by 4. Okay, so simple logic, just take the last 2 digits, 47 and check whether it is divisible by 4. So obviously 47 here it says it's not divisible by 4. So 1947 shouldn't be a leap year. It's an ordinary year. So ordinary year has only 0 odd days in February. Okay, just calculate from January to July. So 3 plus 3, 6, 8, 11, 13, 13 plus 3, 16. Okay, so 16 odd days until July. The past month is July, so 16. So again, odd day calculation divided by 7. Remove the complete weeks. So 2 complete weeks are there. So odd day here is 2. Okay, so what we have done here, we have found like 31, 7, 19, 47. Until this, we have calculated the odd day. Till 46, 2. Until July, it is 2. So totally it is 4 actually. So until 47, we have done our work. So remaining is 15 days only. So 15 days, how many odd days will be there? Complete 2 weeks should be removed. Okay. So again, for 15 days, we have only 1 odd day. So this is the only thing that we should consider. So until 1946, we had 2 odd day. So the past month till July, we had 2 odd day. And for the 15 days, we have one odd day. So in total, we have 5 odd days. Okay. When this calendar was invented, the year, I think 001 or 00, I don't remember. So that is considered as having 1 odd day, which is Monday. Okay. So when you have 2 odd days, then it is Tuesday. So there won't be a logic that it has 7 odd days. So 7 is divisible by 7, the odd days will be 0. So when it is 0, it should be Sunday. That's all the logic is. Okay, so how 15/8/1947, this 5 odd day which falls in Friday. Okay, so 5 which falls in Friday, we can check the calendar 1947. It won't be visible. So 15/8/1947. Sorry, let me write. Oh, this is some other calendar. So still 15/8/1947 is Friday. Okay, so according to our calculation, we get 5 odd days, which means that should be Friday. Okay, these are all the logics behind the calendars that we have. Okay, so we have some similarities also, like few months will be same. Like for example, I guess it is Jan's first is Friday. I think October. Yeah, October and January will start with the same day, and also an ordinary year will start on the same day and end on the same day. You see, this 2020 is a leap year. 2021 is an ordinary year. So 2021 starts on Friday. It should end on Friday. So 31st is Friday. Okay, same way. If you see 2020, it's getting end on Thursday. So it should have been started on, I guess, Wednesday. It won't end on the same day, sorry. It won't start and end on the same day. Only ordinary years will start and end on the same day. So leap year will end on the next day. It will start, if it's starting on Wednesday, it will end on the next day. Obviously, because of the extra day that falls in February month, that is 29th of Feb. Okay, so these are all the complete logics behind calendars. So whenever you see February has 29 days, you should understand the logic why 29 was added to February, because that was the last month of the calendar when it was invented. Okay, that's why it has 29. I don't know when it was changed, why it was changed. Those all things I couldn't find it. So these are all the things behind the calendar. So over to you, Chitra. And thanks a lot for being part of this. It means a lot to me. Thanks for being in the call until like around 45 minutes. I guess it is around 1 hour. So thanks a lot to everyone. So any doubts? Anyone want to clarify anything, or anyone got stuck in anything?
Yeah, if any of you have any questions, you all can type them out in the chat box. Or you can even unmute yourselves and ask.
Please talk here. Is anyone any questions? Okay.
Okay, I'm guessing no one has questions so far.
Okay.
Um,
Let me check.
if you also have any feedback about the session, please feel free to put it in the chat box. All right, so I think there are no questions right now. Is there anything else that you would like to say, Rana?
I already told whatever I wanted to tell.
Okay.
As I had a good time after a long time. So thanks everyone for being part of it.
Absolutely. Thank you everyone who attended this session. It's really been, it was a little complex, but it was very interesting. Okay, so we have a question. What type of calendar are we using now?
So it's Gregorian. So we was using Julian calendar. I'll just reply. It's Gregorian. So in during the period of King Gregorian, I don't know whether it is King Gregorian 5, 6, or 7. It is directly present in the Google. So during the time of King Gregorian, so somebody has changed it and made it perfect. So after his period, it was during his period, since it was corrected, so it was named as Gregorian calendar. It's an honor to the king.
Okay. Thank you so much. If any of you have anything else to say, and if you liked the session, you can type out a yes in the chat box. We have another question saying, what is the Chinese calendar?
Not sure about Chinese calendar. Maybe they are saying what to eat on what day. I'm not sure about it.
Okay. All right then. So that brings us to the end of another interesting session of Mango Open House. And thank you so much, Raja. It was a wonderful session, and I'm sure everyone who has participated has also enjoyed it a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Yes. And okay, so we have a few comments saying that it was an interesting session and kids got to learn a lot of new things.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
All right then. So if there is no other question, we will end the session here. And I've also sent you a message on the chat box where you can check out a couple of our previous open house sessions, as well as you can access this one again. If you have any doubts, you can check it out on our YouTube channel. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. And thank you, Raja, once again.
Thank you.
So we will end the session here and have a good night, all of you.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.